Biodiversity is the term that represents the total variety of life on Earth. That's a big thing to sum up. Thousands of different world habitats, millions of different species, billions of different individuals, and the trillions of different characteristics they all have. The total biodiversity of our planet is immense, which is a good thing because the more biodiversity, the more secure all life on Earth, including ourselves.
Biodiversity refers to all species and living things on Earth or the specific ecosystem. It brings together the different species and forms of life. Biodiversity is all the different kinds of life you find in one area. It is the variety of animals, plants, fungi, and even microorganisms like bacteria that make up our natural world. Each of these species and organisms work together in ecosystem to maintain balance and support life. Biodiversity supports everything in nature that we need to survive, like food, clean water, medicine, clothing, and shelter. It is important to us to know what biodiversity is, for us to know how these things help us in our daily lives. Biodiversity is important to humans for many reasons. Biodiversity is essential for human health and well-being, economic prosperity, food safety, and other areas critical to all humans and all human societies. It is also considered by many to have an intrinsic value, which means that each species has a value and right to exist. Biodiversity performs a number of ecological services for humankind. It provides a functioning ecosystem that supplies oxygen, clean air and water, pollination of plants, pest control, wastewater treatment, and many ecosystem services. Organisms, ecosystems, and ecological process supplies us with oxygen. They are used to cycle a carbon and fix nutrients in order for the plants to grow. It also protects us against flooding and to regulate the climate. Biodiversity will not only maintain a functional environment but also a resource for food, shelter, medicine, clothing, and other materials needed to sustain human life. The economy also relies on biodiversity since it provides renewable economic resources and ecosystem services that is priceless in terms of cultural and aesthetic values. For now, let's focus on the wildlife plants in the forest. Wildlife plants is mainly an domesticated species of the plant kingdom, occurring in a natural ecosystem. It grows in natural surroundings and are not looked after by people. We may not seek for them, but it gives a lot of help than the usual plants we see in our place every day. There is a lot of wildlife plants, such as viper's baglas, comfrey, catmint, ivy, and yellow rattle. Each plant in a wildlife have its specific roles, and most of them help to maintain the balance of the ecosystem as well as help us humans when it comes to climate change. Trees and wildlife supports the lives of many large organisms. It is used for food, shelter, and a site for reproduction. Many animals also use trees for resting, nesting, and a place from which to hunt or capture prey. During times of extreme heat or precipitation, animals can seek shade and shelter under the wildlife trees, the forest, without being away from their food source, not only for animals, but also for us humans. Our ecosystems benefits from wildlife plants, stabilizing soil, filtering water, purifying air, and supporting wildlife animals. Undomesticated plants have significant benefits in mitigating environmental stresses. Through a combination of changing climates, lost habitats, and increased food scarcity, there has been a lot of worrying news about concerning the fate of wildlife around the world. The gloom and doom reports can often make the situation seem entirely hopeless. However, there is much that can be done in order to protect and conserve wildlife on a big and small scale. One of the most common suggestions is that we should recycle. According to some scientists, in every 1 hour, 3 species will go extinct, including wildlife plants. There is a lot of reasons why species disappeared. One of it is due to climate change that made life difficult for species. Another reason is the anthropogenic factors. We can't deny the fact that some humans' activities also cause species to disappear. It is because of overexploitation, hunting, deforestation, water pollution, air pollution, and land development that obviously destroy the species and their habitats. When species of plants and animals go extinct, many other species are affected. In order for us to protect wildlife plants in the forest, we should conserve biodiversity. Biodiversity is important and worthy of protection because it offers a lot of natural services. We should protect biodiversity because it also protects us. Without it, it's possible that there will be no life on Earth. There is a lot of options for us to protect biodiversity. One of it is to simply avoid doing things that will harm the ecosystem. Let us all promote, conserve, and protect biodiversity because from the word itself, it is the variety of life forms on Earth and the essential interdependence of all living things. If one will get harmed, many living organisms will get affected, including us humans. For us to preserve biodiversity, we should all be disciplined to know our limitations. We are living in the Earth for a long time and still don't know what's going on. It's like we don't know how to act. As what Edward O. Wilson says, biodiversity is our most valuable but least appreciated resource. Come on, everyone! I know we are not all the same, but we are living on the same Earth. We need to know what we stand for, and that should be conserving biodiversity.